for every time I heard one of these conditionalists say, well, salvation's a process. So if you don't endure to the end, if you don't persevere in good fruit and good works, or if you fall away, so on and so forth, then, you never really made it to the end of your salvation. It was cut off. It was aborted. That's why I like to call it spiritual abortion. But what they're not understanding is it's a process in the sense that we have justification, regeneration, sanctification, and glorification. So yeah, we're being sanctified and being conformed to the image of his son. That's the promise, as you pointed out, Pastor Mcmurtry. That's a great point. We have that hope. But the justification, regeneration, that's done. I mean, we've been passed from death unto life. So that's a great point. And because they fail to understand those different aspects of our salvation, that's why they keep going to this talking point like, well, we're being saved. We're not completely saved, but we're being saved. Therefore, we could be cut off in the middle of that process, they'll say.
Right. Well, it's the same thing, too, where the Bible teaches that Jesus Christ is the lamb slain from the foundation of the world. And, you have your dispensational salvation crowd that teach that the Old Testament saints, and I've heard some even say there was no such thing as Old Testament saints, even though they're referred to as saints in the Old Testament, which is ridiculous. But they'll say, well, they couldn't go into heaven until the cross. Well, I disagree with that because, one, I believe, the Bible is very clear there were people in heaven before the cross. But people ask, how could people have gotten into heaven before the blood was applied? I'll tell you why. Because they had the promise of it. And God wasn't up in heaven wondering if he was going to keep his promise and waiting to make sure he did what he said he was going to do. And so even though Jesus did not die in our timeline until 2,000 years ago, understand the promise of a Messiah was given to Adam and Eve when they got kicked out of the garden, or even before they got kicked out of the garden, when God was pronouncing the curse on them, there was a promise of a seed that was going to bruise the head of Satan. So you better believe they were able to go to heaven if they were of faith, because they believed the promise. And so we saw that promise fulfilled 2,000 years ago. But again, if we're going to use that same line of reasoning, then that the dispensational salvation crowd uses, then we probably really shouldn't be calling ourselves saved right now, because where's our new body? Because the Bible does say too, behold, now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. Well, again, we're saved now, but we're also looking to be saved from the wrath that's to come, from the things, all those things on this earth.
From our mortal body also.
Right. So but at the same time, we still have the promise of it. So we still have that standing. We are literally called right now the sons of God. And it's even though we don't have the physical attributes yet.